Hi everyone, my name is Professor Luce, and if you're here, you're probably here for Speech 205. I wanted to give you a brief introduction to myself and to the course, so that way you have a little bit of familiarity. I know it's not exactly the same as meeting in the classroom, but this way you can have some sort of visibility with me, your instructor, for this section. So first, welcome to the course. I hope you have familiarity with D2L. If you don't, you definitely want to become more familiar with it, as it is an online course that is going to be essential for you to be able to succeed. If you need help, you do have access to Tech Central. Remember, they're going to be the experts when it comes to technology. I am great when it comes to communication or when it comes to business. I actually have a degree in business as well. But when it comes to technology, that is not something I've gone to school for. So you definitely want to rely on Tech Central for additional help. Underneath D2L, one of the important sections is going to be under content. You'll find a variety of documents as well as information there. So underneath the getting started, you'll find what you probably know as a syllabus, but we call it an instructor course information sheet. You'll see two of them. So I hope that isn't confusing to you, but in order to be able to understand them, they are pretty clearly labeled. One applies to all Speech 205 courses, online, face-to-face, doesn't matter the instructor. And then, of course, you'll find one that is our specific course policies. Again, they are clearly labeled. You need to read both, but the one of the specific course policies has a lot more information in it. Additionally, under content at the bottom or in several of the tabs, you'll see the weekly agenda. That's pretty easy to follow. So, for example, week one, that's going to have all the information that you need for week one. It's going to tell you what you need to read, what you need to watch, what you need to do, what assignments you need to complete in D2L, etc. So, go to the appropriate week, and that will be the assignments for that week. And if you want to look ahead, you can go ahead and do that. There's a multitude of ways to do that, but you can simply go to week 5 or week 6. And if you have some sort of conflict coming up, you might be traveling, that's a good way to check to see what kind of conflict might be occurring with that week and figure out if you need to make additional plans. There are other tabs underneath content that are important. I'm not going to cover all of them in this video, but for example, there is a how to send a proper email tab. And what that tab provides you is the information to how to create a professional email. That's the format that you would use from, and I'm hoping you use either that or something really similar for professional communication for you in the future. Um, in reading through the syllabus, you'll find a variety of things. You'll see that the course emphasis on grades is heavy on speeches. That being said, you also have plenty of opportunities for extra credit. If you have any questions about those, I'm happy to answer them. And I think it is important that you read through that very carefully and try to take advantage of the extra credit opportunities. I tell you up front what they are. That way, you know when you can take advantage of them. It's not something that at the end of the semester, if you ask, can I earn some extra credit? My only response is going to be, did you do the extra credit that we've had throughout the semester? So you actually have, as of right now, 6 different opportunities for extra credit. That's a lot. So take advantage of them. So some of you are probably wondering, why do I need public speaking? I'm an effective communicator. And some of you are great in front of a crowd, and that's fantastic. One thing you'll get from this course is not just being able to talk in front of people, but being able to present your ideas in an organized fashion. So that way your audience is receptive to those ideas. For many, if not most of you, a lot of this class is going to be helpful to you in reducing nervousness. And honestly, it doesn't matter what career path you're going to go into, you will have public speaking on some level. As an example, I know several people that have taken my course, and just friends that I have that work in a variety of hospitals that are nurses specifically, and they didn't realize that they were going to have to give mini presentations to other colleagues. Sometimes you go into a job, you think, well, I'm just going to be, I'm going to be a nurse and that's going to be my focus. And then next thing you know, you're on committees at the hospital being asked to present on behalf of your colleagues. I know that that has happened for sure at one of the hospitals very near to this college. So even if you're not thinking you'll have to give a whole lot of presentations later on, you never know what your job will entail, and that's not something they will necessarily put in the job description. Additionally, it can be the difference between getting a raise versus staying at your current salary. People get raises by moving into leadership positions, and those in leadership positions often have to be able to communicate to both small and large groups. So that is something to keep in mind as you move forward in the course. Additionally, this is going to be a skill that you're going to have to use in a variety of occasions. And even if it's not a one-to-one translation, so for example, you may never have to give an informative speech or a persuasive speech, you can translate these skills that you learn in each individual speech and apply to even simple everyday situations, conversations with friends, trying to persuade friends to go do something that you want to do, trying to convince a significant other to come do something that you want to do, things like eye contact, gestures, things that make you seem more personable in a one-on-one situation with other people. Those are all things that we work on in this class. And the final thing I'm going to do today, because I'm trying to keep this video short, is just introduce myself. I know I've asked you to introduce yourself to the class as part of an extra credit assignment in the discussion forum, so I'm going to do the same. My name is Professor Luce. I am originally from the upper lower peninsula of Michigan. So the lower peninsula kind of looks like this, and I am from the upper portion by about right there. It's called Cadillac, Michigan. I have several family members. My parents still live in Michigan. My sister has lived here in Myrtle Beach for quite some time. I have a brother-in-law. I have a wife and 3 kids, and we have a dog named Galactus. And yes, he is named after the Marvel character. And then I also have a niece and nephew down here. And then I have 2 sister-in-laws. I have 2 nieces in Virginia and have a nephew on the way. And in the Boston area, and my in-laws also live in Boston. So I have family throughout the area. I am interested in a lot of outdoor hobbies. So I like to hunt, I like to fish, camping, I like riding on 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, that sort of thing. I'm into a lot of outdoor activities. I have also been involved in technology. So I like to kind of mess around. I'm looking into building some beer tap handles using Raspberry Pi devices. I have a drone, so I do like using different types of technology. And right now doing a lot of home renovation. We have chickens, so there's been some building of coops and other devices. I try to garden. I'm not very good at it, but we can grow some stuff in the backyard. We had strawberries and going to grow some raspberries this year. So a variety of things. So we have muscadine grapes that came with the yard as well. So trying to get those to populate a little bit more. So those are some of the hobbies. One unique thing about myself would be I think I'm a record holder in Beijing. I was in China several years ago, and there's an arcade machine with a punching bag, and you punch it as hard as you can. And I did that, and then all kinds of alarms went off, and there were lights and flashing sounds, and then asked me to enter my initials. So at the time, I became the number 1 place, and then we left, and I've never been back to Beijing. I don't plan on going back. And even if I do, there's about 0% chance I'll go to that arcade. So as far as I know, I'm still a record holder in Beijing. So looking forward to this semester. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to talk to you.